Huge shout out to our patrons that you can now see on the screen. If you want to become one of these patrons, it starts as low as $1 and it helps out the channel a ton, helps me get out more high quality content to you guys. So if you would consider that, that'd be amazing.
Welcome to MTG Trivia Night!
One. Most of us have probably been playing this game for quite a while, so when people are like, hey, did you know this little fact? Most of the time we're like, yeah, I did, dipshit, get out of my face. I'm used to being a dipshit, so if you did know some of these, that's completely fine. But hopefully some of this Magic trivia you will have no clue of in the past, and this will be some new, juicy, morsely nuggets of info for you. We're keeping that? We're keeping juicy nuggets of info? All right. I started my day like every other day. I woke up. I decided whether or not my IBS would let me have breakfast. But then I heard the doorbell ring with a skirting of tires, and when I opened it, there was a strange file on my front porch. Upon opening it, it was directly from Wizards. It was all the secret trivia that the masses need to be known of. And let me tell you, Wizards of the Coast was my burning bush, and it whispered to me, Nick, you must tell the people of this trivia that they're unprivy to. Unprivy trivy, if you will. Let's talk about some cool little Magic facts that you might not know, okay? In Sylvan Echo's art, there's a hidden horse with horns, which is mentioned in the flavor text. Oh, there is a horse! I'll outline him. I couldn't figure out how to outline in my editor, sorry. There is a horse, holy crap, that's weird. Squint your eyes, and there's a horse with a guy on its back. Maybe I'm just really, really uncreative, you know what I mean? Like one of those paintings where people are like, oh yeah, there's a clock if you look at it for long enough, and I'm like, I just see a bunch of dots. The cost and text of Iulia's influence are references to seismic assault. Oh, I guess they are like a weird little cycle. Now I need a white, blue, and a black one. Would that be too good? No. The name, text, and art on Treefolk Umbra are references to Doran the Siege Tower. Oh, yeah. It assigns combat equal to its toughness. It's literally surrounded by... It doesn't look exactly like Doran, but... The card Wasteland, Ral's Vanguard, and Goldmine are stickered onto a reliquary tower, while Mana Abundance and Problematic Volcano are stickered onto Sarkhan's Unsealing. Cool, so they're stickered onto the same card type, which I find interesting. Except for you, Ral's Vanguard. You weird man. There's more of these, but you might have to wait for the next video to get the sticker reveals, you greedy little bastards. I'll give you one more. Stack of paperwork is stickered onto Hieromancer's Cage. There you go. The creature on Phythesis is rocks, which are both illustrated by the same person, Carl Critchlow. That's kind of cool. It is. Interesting. Yeah, that card used to be played. Times have changed. The test card Truth or Dare is actually the first time the keyword mill was used on a card, which is nuts. It seems like that would be such an early keyword to include in on the thing. Everyone started using it right off the bat. People were like, milling this, milling that. It's about time we get the mill. Elvish Archers was accidentally printed with a 1/2 power in Limited instead of the 2/1 power that it should have had from Alpha. On the right of Inexonerable Blob's art, there's a painting of the character in Ancestral Recall's art. How do you even notice that? Oh, it is! How do you notice that? The card art on the counterspell Spell Snare shows Watchwolf being countered, which is just sweet. I love that it's like a spell with mana value 2 or less, Watchwolf costs 2. It's just like, so good. Cyclopean Tomb from Alpha and Limited was the first Magic card without a mana cost, but it was by mistake, and the error was later corrected in beta, which is wild. That it's like, oh, did I forget to... Honey, did I forget to put the mana cost on that card? No, you're fine. You do this every time we leave the house. No, I think I actually forgot to put the mana cost on that card. For Kami of the Crescent Moon's art, Daryl Rich drew inspiration from Goya's painting El Colosso. Oh yeah, that is really similar. That's super cool, actually. Wow. That is a creepy piece of art. Not bad, but creepy. On Soul Scourge's original illustration by Carl Critchlow, the creature has no wings. But then apparently they were like, this thing needs flying, Carl. And Carl was like, oh, this bitch flies? I didn't know he was cool like that. And then just slapped some little wings behind him, which I just love. Look at those little wings. The tree in the background of Utopia's vow is Utopia Tree, which makes sense because of the name, but I never ever realized she was just like holding a piece of that fruit. The Lazotep mineral, which Nicol Bolas's army is coated in, is inspired by lapis lazuli.
Your final challenge, realizing you cannot make tools out of lapis lazuli. Oh, here now, Jigsaw.
Nicole just straight up went Karen mode, and he was like, I'll do it myself. Made his own lapis armor. Nicol Bolas is a Minecraft modder. Who would have guessed? Char Rumbler and Spinal Parasite are the only creatures with a negative power or toughness. That's Wow, weird. I actually remember having Char Rambler for like one of my first decks I built, and I never even put together that it had negative power. That's so weird. But also, do more weird shit like this, I guess. I like that. The word Sentinel in Sentinel Druid is just the word lunatic backwards. So he's just a crazy man. And you all bought it. The Blackblade originally belonged to Dakin Blackblade, obviously, but then was given to Corlash, heir to the Blackblade, which, obviously, by the art, I just never ever look into this stuff. This is so interesting. Look at that. That blade is what's giving people the amount of power equal to the number of lands you control. That's so cool to, like, put that together. It's so obvious, but then you get the pieces and you go, oh, this 3-piece puzzle's pretty simple. Akroma, Angel of Wrath, is holding a Sword of Vengeance. Again, obviously, look what the sword gives it. The art's just so small. It's on this tiny little box. How freaking cool is that, though? I wonder what other swords are just shown in cards. Chub Toad is an anagram of bad touch. I don't think I want to know anymore to why that's the name. Emergent Zone and Ravnica at War show the exact same scene from 2 different points of view. That is awesome. This needs to be done way more. This right here, that's cool. I like that a lot. Howltooth Hollow is depicting a dead Hollowborn Bargeist, which is just so cool. You know, this one you almost don't buy until you read both the cards and you're like, oh, as long as the opponent doesn't have any cards, a little spiky ear on the side, sharp teeth. Yeah. This dude's bigger than I thought. Are those trees at his feet? Oh, this dude might be huge. Oh, he's a 7'6". Those are trees. This guy's way bigger than we think he is. Unholy Hunger depicts Archangel of Tithes captured by Liliana. Ooh, rough stuff, Archangel. But if you've played against an Archangel, maybe slightly deserved. Nameless Race is the only creature in Magic without a creature type. How is that even true? How is that true? This is the only creature that has ever been printed without a creature type? Sure. Also, the Lazotep is equal lefts and equal rights. You know, it doesn't discriminate. Graceful Cat? Nah, you getting the Lazotep plate. And I'm sorry, Dread Malkin. That's your new name. You're now a zombie cat. Bolus is just recruiting anybody he can get his hands on, huh?
And you there, little fluffy bottoms. You will be my first in artillery.
Oh, hell yeah, Bolus, you to go.
Guardian of Guild Pact and Enemy of Guild Pact line up to form a mural, which is cool. This needs to happen more, by the way. It's just sweet. And they have been doing it more. The Thunder Junction lands, if I'm not mistaken, also do this, which is also, you know, equally cool, if not cooler. The name is Rigid Q-Sight and Guided Strike are both anagrams of each other, and they both have the same creature in the art. Bet you didn't know that one. Raid Bombardment and Unified Will, illustrated by Matt Kavoda, line up to form a mural. Again, I like when they do this. Just like order a piece of art from an illustrator that's wide, that's like the length of 2 Magic cards, cut it in half, and then give that to the design team. I think that's kind of a cool philosophy. Like, what would these be if you had to make a card out of these? And we'll end on a happy note. Legion Loyalist and Legion War Boss show that hard work and dedication and not being afraid to take the lead and take charge lead to good things, you know? Our boy's ranking up in the world. He was just loyal, and now he's a war boss. Speaking of war boss, all you guys are war bosses. And with that, I hope you learned some trivia that you can bring to your next Magic game night and make your opponents roll their eyes and make them wonder, what cool, handsome guy made him learn all that? Again, if you like the idea of this series or like the video, comment and subscribe. We're trying to hit 10K by the end of the year. I am probably going to make more of these, but I do like to gauge how into stuff you guys are. And with that, I'm checking out. I'll see you guys.